Hello students, I am Dr. Shailendra Kumar Singh and today we will discuss about patent protection at the core biotech business. Many people around the world start their mornings with drinking a glass of orange juice. Do you know that ability to enjoy this tangy beverage stems is actually started from a complicated field of intellectual property law, the area of patenting biotechnology. Protection of intellectual property is at the core of the business for biotechnology firm. From today's lecture, you will be able to learn that why are patents so important for companies in these sectors, what are rules and regulations, and how all the patent system of biotechnology operates in India. Let's start. In 1873, microbiologist Louis Pasteur patented a new yeast making method. Today we know this process as pasteurization, and most of the commercial orange juice making companies using that patent. Biotechnology exploits biological materials, living or non-living things, and it could be classified into two kinds, like classical biotechnology and modern biotechnology. The age-old fermentation process for producing alcohol, isolation of antibiotics from molds, or other microorganisms are only a few examples of classical biotechnology. Modern biotechnology started with the gene splicing technology or genetic engineering in the late 70s. Actually, Dr. Paul Berg was the first scientist who constructed the recombinant DNA in vitro, and this method was taken up by Stanford scientists Cohen and Boyer, and they showed that recombinant DNA molecules could be transferred very effectively into bacterial cells. And at the present time, we are using this technology as a tool to modify any biological system and produce medicines like insulin, anti-cancer drugs, autoimmune drugs, foods, beverages, and so on. But these advances in biotechnology might not possible without patents. While on the one side, biotechnological inventions have resolved many problems and branched out to several fields. On the other side, they have invoked many debates like this. This is a vacanty mouse, looked like a human ear grown on its back. It was created by Dr. Charles A. Vacanti. You can see his picture over here. Actually, it's a cartilaginous ear which was implanted under the skin of a mouse. The photo of the mouse was passed around the internet via email, and in the late 1990s, the picture prompted a wave of protest against genetic engineering. Although in this specific experiment, no genetic manipulation was performed, it was purely a tissue engineering work. So there are several ethical concerns which are also associated with the patenting in biotechnology. Now we will discuss about something benefits of biotechnology. So these are we have summarized these points for the benefits of the biotechnology. Biotechnology utilizes the living cells and solar materials to create pharmaceutical, agriculture, and environmental products for the benefit of the society. It is also used to study or to alter the genetic information in animals so that human diseases can be modeled and studied. Biotechnology can improve health and reduce hunger simultaneously. It could create flexibility within the food chain. It offers medical advancement opportunities. It allows us to preserve resources. It helps us to minimize or eliminate waste product. It can reduce infectious diseases rate. Now we will look at the some of the benefits of the biotechnology, like in this slide. Reproductive cloning. What is the reproductive cloning? It's a technique called somatic cell nuclear transfer. Researchers first take a somatic cell, any cell in the body other than a sperm or egg, and they create a plan to clone that, and they extract the cell nucleus in which in which assess nuclear DNA and discard the rest. So this is a kind of reproductive cloning which we can perform and prepare some of the clones of the animals. Not only animals, but we can clone human also. So similar to the animal one, we can create a genetical identical copy of a human. Advocates of the human therapeutic cloning believe the practice could provide genetically identical cells for regenerative medicine and tissues for transplantation. However, serious ethical concerns have been raised by the future possibility of harvesting organs from clones. This is another benefit therapeutic cloning. Therapeutic cloning actually it's a production of embryonic stem cells for the use in replacing or repairing damaged tissues. Similar to that, we can diagnose the genetic disease also in the embryo within the embryo before the birth, so we can predict the disorder or for being passed into the child. Genetic testing, you can do genetic test and help to determine the person's chance of developing a passing a genetic disorder. Can do, and this is the transgenic plants. Transgenic plants are the plants that have been genetically engineered and breeding approach that uses recombinant DNA techniques to create plants with a new character. These are the transgenic animals. Transgenic animals is also a genetically modified animals, and we can have modified many kind of animals like sheep, goats, pigs, cows, and so on. Another important application is xenotransplantation. It's in a testing stage, but in this we can replace or transplant uh, any organ into a human recipient from a animal source. This we call xenotransplantation. But there are some of the ethical issues. Do we have the right that do this kind of thing? Okay, now we can summarize the benefits into the two categories: direct benefit and indirect benefit. Direct benefit, that benefits which we can get directly from the invention, like improving the nutritional quality, like golden rice, reducing the allergens, and indirect benefit we say indirectly receive the benefit from the invention, like reduced pesticide use, lower occurrence of mycotoxins. These are the some of the benefits which we have summarized. Now let's move to the some of the biotechnology market. This slide shows the growth of biotechnology market in the US and worldwide. As you can see, the growth in the number of patents in the field of biotechnology is largely due to the importance that in the life sciences and biotechnology companies. As you can see in the graph, global biotech contract development and manufacturing market is projected to reach 126 billion by 2024 from USD around 19 billion in 2009 at the CAGR of 7.1%. Similar to that, global biotech ingredient market size is expected to reach 2.57 billion from with the help of 8% CAGR. Another thing is that Europe accounted for over 57% of global biotech fragrance consumption, and we can see the CAGR of 11.3% from 2018 to 2025. These are the projected CAGR. So we can from these slides we can see the strong growth of the biotechnology industry in recent years, and it is also mirrored by a higher number of patent application. As one of the example, uh, The patent application have been filed in the US was rose till 15% in a year from 1990 to 2000, and similarly around 10% at the European region. We will discuss about the journey of Indian biotechnology patent system. Till date, till 2002, in India, no patents were granted for the inventions related to the living entities of the natural or artificial origin, biological materials, and derived substances, or any process for the production of living substance. Patents could only be granted for the process of producing non-living substances like antibodies or proteins or vaccines. But in 2002, a case, a Domenico case was filed. Domenico was a company which filed a case related to the process for the preparation of a live vaccine for protecting poultry against an infection. So it was a vaccine which was live vaccine which was prepared by this company. But the controller of patents had refused the application. And for the what was the ground for that? The vaccine involved processing of certain microbial substances which contained gene sequence. But this company filed us this case into in the Kolkata High Court, and this honorable court concluded that a new this is that a new and useful art of process is an invention, and where the end product, even if it contains a living organism, is a new material. The process leading to its manufacture is an invention. This major step further opened the arena of grant of patents in the field of biotechnology. It was in the year 2002 when the Patent Act 1970 was amended, and where biochemical and biotechnological and microbiological processes were included within the scope of chemical process for the grant of patent. Now let's move on to this next slide. Furthermore, India have joined Budapest Treaty on 17th December 2001, and again Section 10 of Patents Act 1970 was again amended in 2005, and paving the way for grant of product patents in any field of technology including biotechnology, with certain exceptions. Like we have to disclose the source and geographical origin for the biological material. Now let's move on to the next slides. And these are the sections and provision which we have already covered in the previous lecture. So if you want to see that, you can see my previous lecture. And similar to previous slide, this we have already discussed in the past lecture. Please find the lecture. Now these are the major claim related areas. Like major claims of the biotechnology inventions are related to these areas: vectors, polypeptides, gene construct, host cells, plant and animal tissue cultures, antibodies, antigen, diagnostic kits, and tests. So these are the major claims which biotechnology inventions are related. Now we will discuss about the patent system of the India. In India, genetically modified organisms and the products are regulated under the rules of manufacture, use, import and export, and storage of hazardous microorganisms 1989. These rules are implemented by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Department of Biotechnology, and state governments with these six competent authorities. You can see in this, these are the six competent authorities which regulate all of the biotech patent system of the India, like Recombinant DNA Advisory Committee, Institutional Biosafety Committees, Review Committee of Genetic Manipulation, Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, and State Biotechnological Coordination Committee, the District Level Committee. These are the six authorities which regulate the biotic patent system of the India. Now let's move on to the next slide. This is the slide which have tabulated the competent authorities of the biotic patent and their function and their administrating agencies. As we can see, RDAC is a advisory in function, advisory in nature, while IBSC, RCGM, and GEAC are responsible for regulating function. SBCC and DLC are for monitoring purpose. Okay, RCGM is stabilized under the Department of Biotechnology, which takes note on development in the biotechnology at national and international level. It is a advisory in nature and expected to give recommendations from time to time on safety regulations in research and application of GMOs and products. Now, GEAC is responsible for approval of activities involving in a large scale use for hazardous microorganisms and recombinant products in R&D from the environmental angle. So it is necessary that each institution intending to carry out research activities involving genetic manipulation of microorganism, plant or animal, they should constitute an IBSC. So IBSC oversees the research and interface within the RCGM and regulate it. Now let's move on. Now we will discuss about the formal requirements for biotechnology patent application. For any biological material patent application, you have to deposit your biological material in any international depository authority which are stabilized in all of the countries under Budapest Treaty. In India, these kind of culture collection is handled by microbial type culture collection Gene Bank Chandigarh and microbial culture collection Pune. So applicant has to require uh, required to submit all of the application with their specification, characteristics, source geographical names, and all of the details mentioned on the form. And you have to disclose the plant gene sequence which is being used to transform other plant material. If applicant want to patent any sequence for genes, nucleotide sequence, and polypeptide sequence, the applicant must mention the sequence listing in electronic form with the gene accession number. This slide summarizes the relevant acts and rules regulating GMOs in India and their ministries and what kind of activities they are covered. You can see that Biological Diversity Act is controlled by National Biodiversity Act, which regulates the use of biological resource, including genes, and for improving crops and livestock. So this is the list for biological material regulating authorities. This slide shows the procedure for approval of confined field trials and environmental release of GE plants. As you can see, applicant has to contact through a proper channel like IBSC to RCGM and then RCGM will contact to GEAC and both RCGM and GEAC can contact CCC for field trials. And finally, environmental assessment of GE plants. So this is the overall procedure of any biological material patent application. Now let's move on to the next slide. Okay, now person got the patent and how long he can retain that patent. So for the field crops and it will be around 15 years and while tree and vines it will be around 18 years. So overall 15 years from the date of notification. The protection of date of notification of the variety by the central government under section 5 and the seed act 1966. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Earlier size slows the patent duration for the biological material. However, the patent duration for any kind of patent in India, it's around it's 220 years from the date of filing application. However, for the application filed under PCT, a term patent will be 20 years from the international filing date according to PCT. Now let's move on to the next slide and discuss about the IPR issues in biotechnology. As we have seen, application of biotechnology and rules and regulation of biotechnology. Now we will discuss about the IPR issues in the biotechnology sector. R&D in biotechnology is extremely time consuming, which requires huge amount of investment. So, internationally accepted guidelines for the management of IPR is not available. Like TRIPS excluded the biological processes for the production of plants or animals as a patentable subject matter. But patents can be granted to the microorganism, non-biological and microbiological processes used in the production of plant and animals. Similarly, IPR protection is granted only for invention, not for discoveries. And in biotechnology, you know that innovation is difficult. Consideration of industrial application is another obstacle for securing patent for inventions. In India, there are many ethical issues related to patenting of life forms. Actually, the idea of profit making by exploiting any common heritage of civilization or culture is unacceptable. World Intellectual Property Organization is still developing guidelines to protect traditional and indigenous knowledge system. So there is an urgent need for developing countries like India to define clear policies for IPR in case of scientific and technological innovations. Now question times. Think about these questions and you can mail me the answer at trshell82@gmail.com. And if you have any doubts regarding a topic, we can discuss always on our WhatsApp group. Thanks.